Right. Morning, everyone. Thank you for coming along. Appreciate you taking time to join us live. The meeting will be recorded, however, so you can have access to this content at a later date. If you're unsure where to find it, drop us a message and we can send you over a link. My name is Alex. I'm the customer success consultant. It's my job here to assist customers, ensuring they're getting the best out of prospect through various channels such as feedback, CRM reviews. It gives me the opportunity to get to know our customers, get to know our user base, learn their methods, their practices, and hopefully take away some great ideas as to how they're using the system and implement some good ideas onto them, how they could be using their system as well. So I've got a couple of slides to get us started. I'm going to get rid of my face just so I'm not taking up a corner of the screen. And then we'll go through a demo in a short while. Okay, so a couple of items to start with. Then we're going to go through the difference between a sales order and a quote. We're going to have a look at building a quote. We're going to focus on sending quotes to your customers through our document templates. And lastly, look at confirming orders to your ERP systems ready for shipping and invoicing. Okay, so best way to show you this is to go through a live demo. So over here, I actually have a test system. This is for a company called That's My Jam. It's a fictional company selling jam jars and jams and things like that. So we're going to start with the difference between a quote and a sales order. So I'm going to go across to Mary Berry Limited down here in our customer trend report, one of our customers who are growing. And then from there, I'm going to select a contact. Mary Berry. There are a few differences between a quote and a sales order and a few different scenarios which may apply. A sales order could be used for an existing customer. Perhaps they call in or email about products they already know you stock and perhaps have purchased regularly, in which case you're just adding a few lines onto a sales order and confirming across to your inventory management system. So if I go to create there, I've got a sales order and a quote option. A sales order has a lot less options when you open that up. So it's just the name. And then when you hit create, you go through and just add those lines. A quote, typically, as another scenario, maybe a prospective customer, someone that is inquiring about the items you sell, asking about pricing, delivery schedules, the quantity you have available, etc. So in this case, a quote functionality offers the ability to send out this information to a customer, as well as providing the salesperson the tools they need to follow up on this quote in an attempt to generate an order. So straight away, when you're generating a quote, there's a lot more kind of available options to go and fill in. I'm going to start with a description of blueberry jam. You've got a salesperson as you go through. You can configure pipelines, fact codes, the source of where it comes from. So this is quite a useful one if you're doing marketing through prospect. You can actually link the quotes, in some cases, if configured, to a marketing activity that you've sent out. So prospect has the ability to link up with MailChimp and various other kind of email marketing platforms. So you can link them together, send out an email through MailChimp and then link this opportunity, the quote back to it. And then obviously you have a reference point of where the quotes come from. So once we've made our quote, I'm going to set myself a task. Come to that in a moment. So we're going to need some lines on here of what Mary's asked to buy. So if she's called up or maybe, like I said, dropped an email in with some items, there's a few ways of adding some lines. So if I click search for product, just before we go and search for a specific line, just wanted to point out the most frequently ordered items. gives you a little bit of just a quick insight and a quick list of items you sell regularly, just in case they perhaps have asked for any of those. But if you want to search, you can search down here by SKU or perhaps part of the description. So if I search for the word blue, it does a search. Whoops. That again. Okay. And if you click on one of these, you add a single line onto your product with the quantity of 1. If I go into this again, you actually have the option to search here. This is our multi-line entry, which allows you to add multiple lines in one go. So again, you would do a search at the top there. I'm going to search for blue. I'll come onto this little drop down in a second here. We've got recently purchased and popular as well. So again, we've got blissful blueberry jam. I'm going to add in 3 of those, and you can click through like so, or maybe just tab on your keyboard and you'll skip through those as well. And you say 2 of those and 5 of those and 5 of those. Hit add and close or add. I'm just going to hit add for a second. We have this option here. So this product has been configured to have an upsell, which is something my colleague Patrick is covering in the next webinar. I'll press continue there. Okay. And as I mentioned, on this left-hand side, we also have a recently purchased, which gives you a bit of an insight as to this customer's sales history and also popular products across your customer base as well. All right. Okay, so now I've got some products on the quote. There's a few other options here which we might want to look at. So I have editable descriptions, editable quantities. You can change the discount if you've agreed with this customer because they're buying 5, they can have a 10% discount. And lastly, if you expand these line details out on the far right, there's this little pencil. We get some additional fields in here, such as price, cost price, and margins. We get availability by warehouse in this case. We get recent history, a bit of the extended description and some additional product information. Give you a little bit kind of more of a breakdown of this line and the stock that's behind said line. So I've got some lines on here then. I'm going to put together a quote email or document. I'm just going to update our status here. So I'm going to put that now to quotes. It's important to note that you might not necessarily have a pipeline up here, a kind of configured workflow. That's fine. It's something you can configure. If it's something you would like to have on your quotes, just give us a shout and we can go and put that together for you. Okay, so next up then is actually sending the email to your customer. So with a few ways we can do this. I'm going to click send here. We have the option to send email templates, Word documents, PDFs, or some kind of combination of the 3. Templates take advantage of using search and replace fields, which allow you to automatically pull data into these documents. So if I click our quote email here, this automatically populates Mary's name. It comes back down here and populates my name and email address. That would just change depending on the user and customer you're sending this across to. And then obviously we have a very nicely organized table for the products as well, giving you the SKU, the description, quantities, prices, etc. And then a summary at the bottom there, just that total value. Okay, I'm going to send that off. And then on every quote, you'll also have a document stored here as well. Whenever you send an email out or a PDF, etc., you'll get a history of this being sent in here. This is also actually being updated soon as well. We'll have a bit of email tracking coming onto this very shortly. Okay, so the other option, if maybe quote emails aren't particularly your cup of tea, you could look at sending a quote PDF instead. So there's two ways of doing this really. If I go to add up here, I can add a document template. And then again, just point out, this is the company level for Mary Berry. The documents are all stored within this as well. So you get kind of that overview of the documents also. There's that quote email we just made. So back to our quote, I'm going to use template. And then we're going to choose one of the templates we've already made. Simple quote document. Hit create there, and then that's just going to open up our Word document there. We've just got some simple branding, kind of colors and such. And then again, the search and replace and the merge fields will put together all the information we need. Just going to wait for that to load. And then we can get this attached to our email. And then from there, we can kind of do a kind of email template as well. So I'm going to open this up. Okay, so the method of doing it this way means you're allowed to kind of go in here and add some additional lines if you're going to put on there some notes or something like that. I want to thank you. Yours sincerely. You can organize some of the spacing, add some additional terms in here if you wanted a note section for the price agreement you've come to or something. You're going to hit save and then close it. So now we have our document template. I can actually send this to a customer again. I'm going to click either send or this email address. Gonna add an attachment. Existing documents will show us the one we've got, and then we have the option to either attach it as the document type it is, which is Word, or as a PDF. And then we hit attach there. Just tells you down here that it's finished. Hit close, and then we've got our email attached. You can either type out some words or use a template, perhaps like so. So the other option for PDFs is you can actually program some of these templates to automatically generate the PDF. If I get rid of this, I'll show you what I mean. Email cover for PDF quote. If I click that, it actually already generates PDF. It hasn't actually fully generated it. It's told you that it's there, so it will need to still go and make that document. So sending this email will take a second, but it attaches it straight away. The only difference between this method and the method just from a moment ago is you cannot edit this document because it already saves in as a PDF. So I'm going to send that off now, and I just want to keep an eye on these authorization links here. I'm going to show you what they mean. So we're sending that off to Mary Berry. It's now just going through this loading screen, just loading this PDF onto our email, and then it has sent it. Again, refresh our documents. We'll have a new document record in here from that one we've just sent across when it just finishes sending. And then I just wanted to show you in here those links. So we have the option to add in the kind of quote to order workflow links. If I press approve here, I'll show what they do. So it gives us the order value and a quote reference. So I can put in here a quote reference, a PO123. I can hit approve, and then this order gets notified to the sales team that this has gone across. I'll close that though and just show you the kind of manual process. So from here then, instead of confirming it through the kind of customer approve buttons we just saw, I'm going to actually click confirm. So once you've got, if you have an order reference, you can fill it in up here, the customer order reference there. Once you're happy, click confirm, and the order goes to waiting to be confirmed. Once it's in waiting to be confirmed, the order confirmation procedure completes. The time takes will vary depending on account system. This account system is linked up to Unleashed, or this system is linked to Unleashed, which only takes a few seconds. It's probably already done. No, not quite yet. systems linked to such on-premise systems like Sage and Exchequer, they can take maybe a minute or two, but the cloud systems are relatively quick and will only take a few seconds. So you go ahead and be complete. And we've got an error on our one. It's excellent. So we do get some errors every now and again, and it will tell you why. So it's basically saying this doesn't exist, so it can't confirm the order. So we've got one of these products here, on there, it's saying that it's got a problem with that. That's fine. We'll retry that now. Again, just give it a couple of seconds. And then while we're doing that, I might as well move on to the next step. So we could also have a confirmation email. So if I click back to Mary again, we might have a template here for order confirmation. Go on to order confirmation and it just says, thank you, Mary, thank you for your order. Here are your order details, quote reference and order number, and hit send again. So kind of a post quote email, if you like, once it is actually confirmed. Okay, so there's our order. We've got our order number now. That's all gone across. Now that we've fixed our product line, we've confirmed the order to the customer. So there's a couple of other scenarios I haven't gone through, perhaps when they don't have an account and this is a brand new customer. We have the option to actually make accounts. You can make it from this opportunity level or make it from the company level here. So we have the Unleash customer account and you have an option to create a new one here. You can go through and add some details such as their tax information, price list they need to be on, which is an Unleashed customer pricing functionality. And go through and make them an account. And one of the other things I probably should mention is we do have the ability to actually take card payments through Stripe. Before the order is confirmed, you can connect up a Stripe account, take a payment for it. So when you confirm the order, we actually push across the order with all the products as well as the card payment for your account system to process as well. Okay, so I was going to show you a little kind of quick bit on reporting as well. So just to kind of go through this slide. There we go. So we can report on multiple quotes at the same time. We can report on kind of generally one or two quotes or quotes for the last day or something. There's kind of quite a lot of configuration through the filters we have. So I've made a couple of quick reports, but we do have some standard ones which would no doubt help as well. So if I go back to our customer here, I'm going to go to our dashboard. So a few kind of standard reports we've got, maybe orders. So we get orders this month versus last month. You press see more and get a bit of an insight there as to kind of what orders you've made. Orders over 12 months. So again, just getting that idea of kind of your customer growth patterns throughout the year. And then lastly, you've got a couple of reports within here as well, such as customers who have bought X but not Y, decreasing, increasing revenue customers, new and returning, etc. And then finally, you get to obviously make your own reports at quote level as well as a host of other levels. I'm just going to go through and use one of the pre-existing ones. So this is average quote margin, which I've actually made myself. So what this is showing you then, if I go through this report, it's giving us company name, the ID of the quote, description, the order date, and the base value of margin. And then we're summarizing at the top here, the average margin, and the average quote value. So it's a really nice, simple report. This is based over, I think, the last kind of, or just in 2022. So you get to configure it by dates. You can configure these based on costs and markups. You can filter by delivery locations, order dates, group by the customer type. They're kind of highly configurable. So plenty of options in here should you wish to see anything. So just to summarize everything we've covered then, we've gone through kind of touching up on the sales order versus quotes, made a new quote, used multiple various kind of functionality to add products to our quotes, use document templates to deliver this quote to our customers, and finally confirm this quote across to our inventory management system, ready for picking, shipping, and invoicing. Then we've just kind of scratched the surface on Report Builder with a quick demonstration of some of the reports you can build. So that's it for today. There's actually not been any questions, luckily. So hopefully everyone's understanding. But if there is any questions, please give me a shout or get in contact with support. So next session, then we've got extended quoting via Prospect CRM. So there is a couple of bits of functionality that I've not mentioned today, such as quote grouping, perhaps some of the upsell options, and a few other bits which my colleague Patrick is going to cover next week. So if there is anything in the meantime, please give us a shout. Thank you for coming along.